In a major U.S. policy shift, President Donald Trump said on Tuesday he would order the lifting of sanctions on Syria at the behest of Saudi Arabia's crown prince.
They've had their share of travesty, war, killing, many years. That's why my administration has already taken the first steps toward restoring normal relations between the United States and Syria for the first time in more than a decade.
Trump made the surprise announcement at the start of a tour of Gulf Arab states that began in Saudi Arabia. A sanctions reprieve would be a huge boost for Syria's Islamist president and former al-Qaeda commander Ahmed al-Sharaa, who was looking to stabilize a country shattered by more than a decade of civil war. The White House and two Syrian presidential sources said Trump is set to say hello to Sharaa on Wednesday in Saudi Arabia. Trump said he made the decision after discussions with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan, whose governments have both strongly urged the lifting of sanctions.
Now it's their time to shine. It's their time to shine. So I say good luck, Syria. Show us something very special.
The United Nations, which has been pushing countries to lift sanctions on Syria, welcomed the move.
It was important for us to see relief on sanctions on Syria.
The U.S. imposed sanctions during Bashar al-Assad's rule. The sanctions cut Syria off from the global financial system and deterred foreign investment and trade, hampering efforts to rebuild from the war. Damascus residents celebrated Trump's decision. It feels like a mountain has been lifted off our chest, said this local. Trump's announcement comes despite Israel's deep suspicion of Sharaa's administration. Israeli officials have continued to describe Sharaa as a jihadist. Sharaa was, for years, the leader of al-Qaeda's official wing in the Syrian conflict. He first joined al-Qaeda in Iraq, where he spent 5 years in a U.S. prison.
We are currently exploring normalizing relations with Syria's new government, as you know, beginning with my meeting with President Ahmed al-Sharaa.
At a summit between the US and Gulf Arab countries afterwards, Trump said he was lifting sanctions to give Syria the ability to make a fresh start after decades of iron-fisted rule under former President Bashar al-Assad and his father.
It gives them a chance for greatness. The sanctions were really crippling, very powerful.
According to the White House, the US president also urged Sharaa to normalize ties with Syria's longtime enemy, Israel. The US-brokered Abraham Accords saw the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain and Morocco normalize relations with Israel in 2020. Trump said on Tuesday Saudi Arabia would join the accords in its own time. Talks were halted after the Gaza war erupted, with the kingdom insisting there can be no normalization without Palestinian statehood. US ally Israel has opposed sanctions relief for Syria, but Trump on Tuesday said that MBS and Erdogan, who are both close to the US president, had encouraged him to make the move. Sharaa severed ties with al-Qaeda in 2016, but Israeli officials have continued to call him a jihadist. Israel's government did not immediately respond to requests for comment. The decision is a major boost for Sharaa, who has been struggling to bring the country under control after toppling Assad in December.
Today, I am not only celebrating the lifting of sanctions on Syria, our joy lies in the sincere brotherhood and the return of fervent feelings among the people of the region, its kings, princes, and presidents. President Trump thankfully responded to this love. The decision to lift the sanctions was a historic, courageous decision that alleviated the suffering of the people, helped in their renaissance, and laid the foundations for stability in the region.